All right, this is Adelante Worldwide.
Worldwide.
Back once again. We want to thank everybody who watched the last episode of. We're very close to hitting 1,000 views on that one.
Yeah. And I will say on that last episode that me and TC, we disagree from time to time, but that is not what this show's about. Disagreement is fine. We didn't get out of hand with it. But I do want to let you know that we are about positivity and pushing people that are doing good things in our community. Speaking of that, we have a special shout out to our sound engineer,
Very own
Daniel Lowlife Trujillo, who took home the 2016 Southwest Indie Award for Best Beat. So
Look at that.
job.
Congratulations to Daniel. Thank you. So in this episode, we're going to have a guest. Some people know him as El Maestro. He was with Mas Chingon back in the day. However, now he goes by Bradley Pettie. So, hope you guys enjoy. All right. We are back once again. This is episode number 4, Adelante Worldwide.
Worldwide.
You know how we do this. My name is TC Valdez, my co-host Joe Ayala with special guest today, Mr. Bradley Pettie. How you doing, bro?
Good. Bradley Pettie, Evangelist Music. Just glad to be here. Thank you guys for everything.
There you go. There you go.
We're glad to have you here today, Bradley.
Yes, we're pushing positivity, everything doing good. So today, it's going to be a little different than last time. Our main subject today is Mr. Bradley Pettie. Now, you're local, right? You're a local guy.
I'm originally from La Junta, Colorado. I live in Rocky Ford, Colorado now.
Born and raised.
Born and raised. I grew up here in the streets of La Junta back in the day when we cruised the drag. TC had the Cougar hitting the switches, the Cutlass going.
What was this, the 70s?
Oh, no, not the 70s. We're not that old. We're old, but not that old, man.
No, because I remember Bradley back in the day because he used to always wear the suspenders, the little fedora, the pants, all hooked up. I remember that.
All choloed out,
Oh,
Dickies
yeah.
creased up, Cortez or Stacey Adams, suspenders, hat
Toda
going,
la madre right there.
low riding.
So where did you go to school at, Bradley?
I went to school. I went to East Elementary School here. I don't think it's open anymore, but
East is the least.
East is the least.
it was good. It was a good childhood growing up here. I remember when Tigers Field was where
Inspiration
Field's at now, and that was when it changed. It kind of like took away that nostalgic feeling from me, but we got to evolve.
But I think it's all right though. Change is good. Hell, you're the epitome of change right here.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So like you said, the stadium that was our time and everything. Now there's a new stadium that could be somebody else's time.
Yeah, they're memories.
Oh yeah, they're good memories.
So back to your younger days, do you consider yourself a wild child, a person getting into a lot of trouble back then?
And yeah, that it was a long time ago. No, I'm not that old, Joe, but yeah, I had my problems when I was young. I had, problems at home. I ended up in a few group homes and stuff like that, time away from home, and I just didn't understand. I was raised in a different environment, and we were raised a whole different way too, and I guess I was just alone a lot. I don't know.
So do you think I don't know the home life that you had or anything, but do you think a lack of role models had anything to do with the way you went up?
A little bit. I didn't have a father, but I hear a lot of people say they didn't have a father. It's not really an excuse, but it does matter.
It's definitely an influence, and it definitely changes.
And that's why I go out of my way to make sure I'm there for my children.
Oh,
and it made me stronger in that aspect. But it also added to my testimony for God's glory.
Sure. Go ahead.
Did you what age did you start discovering music and your passion for music?
When I remember about 10 years old when I first did meet my father. I moved to St. Louis, Missouri, and I remember when, well, Joe won't remember, but remember the tapes had a flip side?
Oh yeah, side B.
Yeah, used to Mama Said Knock You Out, Vanilla Ice, Ice Ice Baby.
So you were into gangster rap then?
Well, them were the jams back then.
Yeah.
So I used to flip it to the B side and write little tunes to them, and I used to try to put it down or whatever. And I just always had a passion like that. But when I ended up in the group home, I started with writing a little bit of poetry, and I kept on keeping my poetry going a little bit.
How old were you then?
More around 13, I think 12 or 13 the first time, and then I went into another group home, and then probably about 14 years old, 1994 maybe. I just gave up my age there. But yeah, and then the interesting thing about the poetry, I showed it to Daniel one day, you know, Mr. Trujillo, super producer. If you guys don't know, Danny Dranks, I want to give him a shout out for helping me out coming back, you know, and helping me start with MCR wouldn't have been anything without Daniel. He looked at my poetry. He said, let's add some music to this. I said, sure, whatever. And he got some equipment, and just instantly he was making beats. I don't even know how. He just, all of a sudden there was beats.
He said, there it is.
Yeah, it was like magic, and he's still like magic.
You said MCR. What does that stand for?
MCR? Mas Chingon Records.
Okay. That's how a lot of people may remember Mas Chingon, because you went by El Maestro.
Yeah, El Maestro, Mas Chingon Records. And
you guys put out some CDs. Yeah, how old were you?
I was about 15, I think, when we started, because it was almost the 1996 year.
It was 96.
96?
It was after I graduated. It was the year we graduated. That's when I first started music. That's why I've been doing it for 20 years, because we just had our 20-year reunion.
Yeah.
So...
Wow.
And yeah, that's when it started. And
so did you guys
I was 18, I think.
You were 15?
I was about 15, getting ready to turn
How old was
16
Leo,
probably.
5?
Leo came along a little bit later. Yeah, he was. You guys shout out to Keen too. I know he's been on the show, and I'm glad to see he's doing his thing and that he's maturing. And I remember him when he was a kid, and we brought him in, me and Daniel, and I'm glad to see that he's still going on.
So it was the three of you guys with Mas Chingon?
Yeah,
Or did it start off with you two?
It started off with us two.
Yeah.
And then eventually a few more people got involved, and there was I think Mexican Connection with Zeke. Remember?
I was going to
for a
say,
little
I
bit.
think I remember you rapping with Chachi.
Yeah, Chachi. We did the Mexican Connection thing, and then Daniel, Pierre, Manuel, kind of LJ's
Manuel
Finest.
was in and out. Yeah.
LJ's Finest,
Well,
I
me and
think.
Pierre did what was it called? Boulevard Nights.
Boulevard
With
Nights.
the KNIGHTS, like Nights.
I
This is
remember
all
that.
the big groups, just so everyone at home knows. These are all the
This
super
is the
groups.
roots of the
Forget
hip-hop scene
NWA.
and-
This is a Chicano NWA
straight
right
out
here.
of East LJ right here. This is the start of hip hop here in Colorado, especially
for all these CDs on
southeastern
iTunes.
Colorado.
Too bad. Do you have any of that old music?
I don't.
No.
I don't. I have the
The
red
only ones
CD.
I have is, the oldest I have is the Mas Chingon CD. And then I have Wreckage, because I was producing Wreckage at that time too.
That's a challenge for any of our viewers. Find some of those old CDs.
Oh, Mas Chingon. How many guys did you put out? How many CDs?
We
was
did
1 and 2 and 3.
1, 2, and volume 1, 2, and 3.
And then there's a couple underground that weren't supposed to be out.
And even with even on tapes, we had some stuff on tapes with the Fostex 4-track recorder, and oh man, old school now.
That's crazy.
Paint can and a fucking broomstick with a cheap Radio Shack mic.
Go for like a boom.
Sounds just like 8 Mile in here.
Yeah, times were hard, man. Times were
You had
hard.
to do what you had to do.
East LJ, you know.
Where were you guys recording it?
We were recording in behind Krugman's veterinary clinic there, but at first we were at.
My brother is on Lincoln,
Oh yeah, on Lincoln. We were recording on Lincoln with Blackbush and
Flatbush, and my brother.
Flatbush and yeah. And
Oh,
my
that
brother
Benny.
lived there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Benny. There you go. Yeah, we were recording there for a
Oh,
while.
there's 2 different guys, Blackbush and Flatbush?
No, his name is Flatbush. I don't know why
They
they
call
call
him
him
they
Blackbush.
call him Black Benny.
Yeah.
I bet TC came up with that nickname.
No, he's older than me. He has that. Dang, so you guys put out a lot of music then.
Yeah, and there's a lot of that underground stuff, but I don't got it no more. Especially, I haven't even seen a tape in a long time.
When did you get out of it? That time, that whole.
I think what happened in 2000, the very end of 2006, I decided I was going to stop rapping. And it was like right around 2007. I think the last concert I did was at the event center in Pueblo, Colorado.
So right when you were out 40?
Yeah, right when I was about 40 years old. But the last concert I did was, it was me, the High Power Soldiers, and I think Brown Boy at the event center in Pueblo, Colorado.
High powered. That's Capone in them.
Yeah.
Wow.
And after that, I just That was it.
done.
I was done.
What made you decide to get out?
The traveling, seeing the dark side of the music scene, it was like at that point we're doing really good, and I was traveling a lot and going out there and pushing the CDs. If you can't get out there and grind, you ain't going to go nowhere. So I was hitting the streets and making a lot of connections, networks everywhere. But then you start seeing that dark side of the music scene where it's cutthroat. My hobby was the job. You know what I mean?
Right,
and
right.
it was like it took the fun.
It
out
wasn't
of it.
fun anymore.
It was numbers. It was so much jealousy, so much rage, so much. It was like more like running organized crime than it was running a record label or anything.
Yeah.
So
I've heard from a couple people that you are one of the biggest hustlers out there as far as pushing your stuff, getting connections, and making stuff happen.
it is grinding. You got to get out there and grind. It's called that hustle fluid, but it's a blessing and a curse because it works when you're out there doing things at a steady pace. But when you're moving faster than your family can keep up with you or the people around you can keep up at, it's not good because the people around you suffer. It's like you're dragging them through the dirt, and you just constantly put your eye on something. You just go, and that's where I'm challenging with God now to speed me up and slow me down. When He wants me to move, that's when I move because I can't do that again.
Right. So, like you said, you unfortunately found the bad side of it, the dark side. But just like with anything else, there's a good side, right?
And we'll get to that here in a minute.
We're gonna get to it right after this.
We're on, and we're back, still with Bradley Pettie, no longer El Maestro from Mas Chingon. Tell us about what you're doing right now, Bradley.
Right now, this year, God put it into my heart to come back to rap music, but to use it as a tool or an instrument to reach out to the youth and to the lost. And I prayed for 2 months for Him to take the cup from me because I remember how gritty the rap scene was then. And I knew it'd be kind of the same way, but unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, but He told me, no, you are coming back. And that's with Daniel's help. We came back March, we recorded the first song, and now we're just basically out there just trying to help out the youth. Try to spread a good message, positivity.
So what's the goal from this for you?
The goal from this is not nothing with me, nothing selfish, not for me at all. The goal here is to affect lives, change lives, let people know that there's hope out there. Let them know that Jesus Christ saves. Jesus Christ can, turn their life around. He can do for them what He's done for me. That's why.
How did you come about to find Him? What was the transformation?
I came to Jesus Christ through death. A friend of mine, Matthias Rusher, passed away from a car accident. And when I went to his viewing, he had always been working on me, and something kind of touched me when he passed. When I went to his viewing, his wife, when I seen her, I've been to other funerals where somebody dies, especially my age or something, and everyone's mad. They're questioning God. Well, why? Or He's too young, or I was expecting to see people crying and everything. When I didn't see that there, and the first words out of her mouth was, "How's your walk with Christ?" At her husband's funeral, that's the same age as me, and I know 3 months before that she had lost her father. So, what was there? What was there? What power? What did she know that I didn't know? And that's what got the wheels turning. And it took about 3 months after that. I used to pray to work all the time. Used to think I was a good person. But one day it felt like He grabbed me through my windshield and He just turned me upside down. And from that moment, like instant, like that quick, I mean, the foul language, the hate, the anger, the worry, the discontent, everything that was holding me down and anchoring me to this world just left my body in one instant.
So when you say God, you're saying that you're a Christian. You believe that Jesus is
Jesus is my Lord and my Savior, and don't teach denomination, just teach Jesus Christ. Don't teach religion, just teach personal relationship with Jesus Christ. There's one way to the Father, and that's through the Son. And Jesus, the way, the
through
truth, the life.
Christianity.
Yes.
Yeah. But would you agree also that some people can find, their truth through different routes and still make it out all right?
Personally, me, no.
No?
Jesus Christ, the way, the truth, the life. And I believe they can go to other religions and it may make them a better person, but the Bible clearly states through Jesus Christ. For God so loved the world that He gave His only Son, for that who believe in Him can see eternal life. So it's through Jesus Christ is the way to get to the kingdom of heaven.
No, but for your goal personally, right? So you say you want the youth to do positive things, to do better things. So if they don't go through you, do you think they could still do positive and still do good without going through Jesus Christ?
Yes, I believe that they can make positive behavioral changes, and they can recognize some of the behaviors that is causing them to rebel against their parents and stuff like that. And the main goal is, to get them to see that there's hope there. And eventually they'll see Jesus Christ. When they start seeking for him, once they start asking, he will come to them. But I believe, the behavior will change. And even addictions, anything else. My heart hurts for addictions. I lost a little brother to addictions, and a lot of people have been losing to addictions recently.
Yes,
so
that's been a big problem in the valley.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that, because that was going to be my next question. Was you do speak a lot on addictions. I was going to ask you, what is your connection? Did you have a problem?
I've never had an addiction to any types of drugs. I smoked cigarettes at one time, but alcohol, I used to drink a lot of alcohol. And when we hung out in the studios, we drank a lot of alcohol. And I owned a bar. I even forget about it. I try to forget about it, but and when I owned a bar, I drank a lot of alcohol too, and it brings out a different side of me. It clouds my thoughts, and it brings out a side I don't want to see.
So where did you get the addiction part? How do you bring that into what you preach?
When I just let people know, there's AA classes, there's NA classes, there's stuff like that, but when the Holy Spirit enters you, when Jesus comes into your heart, a lot of them addictions, they leave themselves. It's like a void, and God just replaces that void for them, and it makes it easier. We spend a lot of time thinking about, I can't give up this, I don't want to give up that, and this and that, but we never weigh out what we're going to gain. And as soon as it happens, it's like, wow, why was I even thinking about that?
You think, okay, and I've read that, where a lot of people are afraid to look at what they lose, not look at what they're going to gain from anything, from any kind of change.
Oh yeah.
When you guys do your addiction and alcohol addiction over where you're at now, do you guys lead them to a religion, or do you guys?
Well, the way Fort Lyon is set up, because I work at the Colorado Coalition for the Homeless, Fort Lyon, Colorado, in Los Animas. The way what we do is it's an open one, kind of like the way he does his. We don't push AA, we don't push NA, we don't push religion. What we do is we give an opportunity for them to find their own path. And that's what sets us apart from any other kind of center, is that we give them all the tools and opportunities, and then they get to choose and pick. Because everybody is in a different level of recovery. So what works for you, for example, would not work for Bradley, would not work for me.
It's not a one size fits all.
It's not like that at all. It's this is what we have overall. You pick and choose what, and we've had a phenomenal rate. Right now, we're sitting at a little over 200 residents.
And that's where I am for myself, faith-wise. I don't believe there's a one size fits all. I think what works for Bradley might not work for me, might work for TC. So there's a difference in opinion there. But I'm glad that you're doing that positive work, and that you see that you could still do other things without going your way, but it is good if you do go your way. Yeah. You said, that unfortunate story with your friend. Did you study other religions before you settled on the Bible, or did you just jump straight into the Bible?
I'd never really practiced any other religions.
But I'm not saying practice. I'm just saying look into other religions.
I have now that I'm a Christian. You gotta stay studied up. That way, when somebody brings something to you, you can say, "Well, I know where that came from," or or whatever. But I started in the Book of John. I recommend that to anybody. It helps you figure out, the Holy Spirit, Jesus, and the Trinity.
A New Testament type of guy.
Well, yeah. But the main thing, like TC was saying, is the moral recognition therapy. You guys probably do a lot of that. If you can get somebody to recognize their morals, they're going to change for the better, and hopefully, Jesus Christ will come to their life later. But I think anytime that they recognize that they're doing something wrong and make a positive behavioral change, I think that's all worth it. Like, that's where you're kind of going with it, and I agree with that too.
And that's good that you brought that up, because that's what we're all about here at Adelante. Because for us, what we want to give out is just a positive message. And even if this message isn't for you, another one will be. We want to just throw out as many different kind of positive things, different kind of
Because
people.
maybe what you're doing is going to work for someone out there.
Right.
We want them to go through that route with you.
Yeah, and we want them to change their behaviors, change
And that's
your
what it is.
addiction, change your life for your family, improve your quality of life. You know, that's the main thing. But yes, Jesus Christ can do all them things for you. But just as long as you're changing for positivity, I agree with that also with you guys.
I have a question because we're going to get to your video here in a minute. What is it called again?
Covered by the blood.
Covered by the blood of the Lamb. So you have this video, right? And in the video, I see you throw away your old CD. And there's a line about that. What is the point to that?
God gave me a talent, and I didn't use it to glorify Him at the time. I used it to glorify the world and earthly possessions, money, fame, those types of things. And I don't regret that, but I feel like I wasted my talent. But also at the same time, I think that God let me go far on that side to learn everything that I'm applying for His work now. God works in mysterious ways. You never know what He has for you.
You would admit, though, without going that way, without that path, you couldn't be where you're at today.
No, because I wouldn't have the know-how. I can't even count how many concerts and how rapidly this project has been moving. How many CDs are already in circulation without the album actually being released already, and that's just from the know-how of doing the legwork and everything.
You've had a lot of shares on your videos, and just a commercial we put out that you're going to be on our show. I saw where you shared it, and then a couple other your connections shared it, which is awesome.
Yep, that network. I learned that from the previous time, so now I'm using it for God's work now.
I'm going to go back to that question, though, but what's wrong with that CD that you threw it away in that?
What is wrong with it? Just it glorifies too much of the world and sin, and just a lifestyle that I wouldn't condone for my children or whatever. But I can't change that now.
Yeah, because it's still you.
It is. It's still me.
I think maybe, I don't know. I'm speculating here, though. That by you getting rid of it, that's your past. Now you're moving forward,
like a fresh start.
Yeah, letting people know. But I can't take away from the person I was, because then that takes away from the glory of God. Because if I was that messed up, that far in on the other side, and now He has me this far on the other side, that's to show people the power of God and how much He can change a person.
Now you're talking about you weren't addicted earlier to any type of drug, or you did a little alcohol, stuff like that.
Yeah,
Now
a lot of alcohol.
A lot of alcohol. Okay. Would you, the way I look at addiction is, would you say a person or anybody, I believe, can be addicted to bad thinking?
Yes.
And just the acceptance of saying, okay, hey, I have to do something different.
Did you cuss in your raps before?
Yes.
Was it hard?
We didn't cuss a lot though.
Not a whole lot, because I had better things to say, but yeah, the profanity was there, and now I wouldn't.
Is it harder though to write without the curse words for you?
No, not at all. No, because I don't use that in my daily language now, so.
So you never let anything fly? Just stub your toe?
I slip up, Joe. Yeah, you got it out of me. I do. I have slipped up. I'm not perfect, but yeah.
All right, we had a little bit of a technical difficulty there, but we're back still with Bradley. We're going to talk a little bit more about your video that's going to be coming up here. What do you want to say about this song and this video? What is the essence of it?
I know when I listened to the beat at first with Daniel, it's something not at my pace. It's a little slower than I would normally do, but I chose it because when I came back, I was a little rusty, and I wanted to challenge myself to get back to a level I used to be at. So it was challenging, and I wanted Daniel as a producer is awesome. He can make something horrible sound good. And
that's probably what
he did with me, So your producer has a lot to do with the way that it comes out.
Super producer.
There you go.
He is
award winning.
He just got.
You did win it again, huh? Yeah. He's like, again, I got it again.
So what's this song about?
It's called Covered by the Blood of the Lamb. Most people that, been around church and stuff a while know what that means. It means we're paid for. Our salvation isn't really free because Jesus paid for it on the cross. We're covered by the blood of the Lamb. Jesus is God's lamb for sacrifice for our sins. So once you're covered with that, you're cleansed and you're good to go. The lady singing on the hook is, I believe she's about 67 years old. Her name is Linda Olstein. I want to give her a shout out. God can use you. Yeah. God can use you at any age.
Actually, she's on 100.7. The Gift. I've listened to her before.
Yeah, she used to record in Nashville a long time ago, and I was like, man, this beat's too slow. How am I going to fill in these spaces? And her voice came into my mind, and God put her in my heart. And I asked her, and I was like, oh, I don't know if she's going to debate it. Nope. Yep. Let's go do it. And Daniel got to work with her, and he was just amazed at how quick she laid it down, just like that quick.
Who did the video?
Raimundo Garcia, Ray Noel Photography, did the camera work for me. He went with me to the church. That's the Rocky Ford Church of the Nazarene. Let us use the church to shoot the video. So I want to give them a shout out for that. Raimundo a shout out for shooting it. And I got the privilege, the honor, I guess, to learn how to color grade and edit the video myself, which was trial and error. I mean, I rendered it too dark. Went back, made adjustments, rendered it, didn't like this, sent it back. And if anybody that edits that knows what rendering is, it takes a while sometimes, and a trial and error, but I'm glad I learned something.
Is that your car in the video?
No, that's Richard Nolan's car. Let's give Richard Nolan a shout out too.
That's a nice car.
Yeah, 1963 Impala has Augustine Corona. You remember him? It has in loving memory of him on there. Was also a good dude. We miss him. Rest in peace.
Yeah, he was a good guy. So let's get into that. Covered by the blood of the Lamb?
Yes.
All right. Enjoy.
Shed his blood, he never ran. I'm covered by the blood of the Lamb. Now I gotta live my life for the one who gave his life. Cause my salvation wasn't free. It was Jesus who paid the price. I'm paid for with the blood, the precious blood of the Lamb. Please, Jesus, can you help me so I can help them understand that there's nothing without you, and without you I'm nothing. They keep trying to change my mind, but Lord, I'm not budging, because you know I didn't deserve it, but you still shed your blood. If I was alive in the days of Noah, you would have killed me in the flood. I don't need your Superman, Jesus is my Superman. He shed his blood, he never ran. I'm covered by the blood of the Lamb. Covered by the blood of the Lamb. Jehovah Shalom, only you can bring us peace. Please give us all the courage so we can reach out to these streets. We need more strong people. Lord, we need more disciples. Time to put the drugs and guns down. Time to pick up our Bibles. We're all brothers and sisters. Time to make amends with our rivals. If you got that kind of energy, you should set up a revival. Forget about earth. God gave us eternal survival. I don't care what they call me as long as saved is the title. I don't need your Superman. Jesus is my Superman. He shed his blood, he never ran. I'm covered by the blood of the Lamb. Covered by the blood of the Lamb. What did I ever do to deserve your mercy and your grace? I was such a selfish man, I let my talent go to waste. Thank you for the love that you showed to this sinner. You took something so ugly and turned it into a soul winner. You took away the hate and you erased all of my fears. I feel like David and Goliath when my enemies are near. I can finally love the person I see when I look in the mirror. The Holy Spirit gives us the message that we all need to hear. I don't need your Superman. Jesus is my Superman. He shed his blood, he never ran. I'm covered by the blood of the Lamb. Covered by the blood of the Lamb.
All right, we're back. That was a good song. Love the message, positive message. That was a good job on that one. Good job on that one.
First video back, I think it came out pretty good.
Yeah,
They'll get better.
So, that's it. That's it. Look at our first Morning Mayhem videos.
No, don't look at it.
We're getting better. We all get better as long as we stay the right path and do positive stuff, right? So speaking of getting better and all that stuff, where do you see or what plans do you have for not just your music but what you're doing spiritually and all that?
My main plans are just to stay on track with God. I pray with Him. I pray all the time. Say, you speed it up, you slow it down. You have the throttle, you have the brake. If He told me now that I stop the project right now, and He already has me the places I want to be, that's where I'm going to be. If He tells me I'm going to hit the gas and pop the clutch, then I'm going to just hit the ground running. But it's not really what I want. It's what He wants. But I see us. We're looking to expand. It kind of took off a lot faster than I thought it was, so we're not keeping up with everything as much as we could be. So we're looking to add more staff. We're looking to add more talents.
Like a record label? Are you guys trying to be a record label?
Like a non-profit record label. It run like a record label, but we always win because we're rewarded by changing people's lives and introducing them to Christ rather than money and gold. And just as long as everybody's on the same page, we can't ever lose. Cause
like the Death Row Records of Christian music.
That was horrible. So, on the break, we talked about, you kind of mentioned you did something where you guys were going and, I don't want to say witnessing, I don't know if that's what you used, but at PYC and stuff?
Yeah, we're... I want to give a shout out to Jonathan Cherez, Brother Juan. He's got it to where every other month we're going to be going into a detention center. We're starting at Zeb Pike in November, and then PYC, Denver, a few other places where these kids really need to hear the message. We went to PYC already, and you could see it in their eyes that they needed to hear it. And they reminded me of me sitting in a group home, you know what I mean? Just confused and just lost. So, man, I'm really excited for that. Thank God for, putting that in our path.
That's the stuff I like right there. You guys are actually out doing something. A lot of times you see, churches and stuff that take all this money, but what are you doing to help others? What are you doing to help the poor? What are you doing to help those in need? So that's good that you guys are going out there and doing positive things and not just talking
They're
about
active.
it.
Yeah,
They're active.
And you have,
how many do you have in your organization?
right now, I got a few people that been helping me out and stuff, but we're not really official yet, but we're working on the details to get everything kind of official. But we're all brothers and sisters in Christ, so that we're already mended. We're going to help each other no matter what, but as far as the small details and stuff, we're going to get them worked out, and I think we're going to expand. As God permitting, we're going to expand.
Do you meet with people on a regular basis from other towns?
By phone, and sometimes don't use the Facebook video chat because that always gives out on me. So it takes about 3 or 4. But Daniel will be happy. I'm finally going to get a phone probably this month. I haven't had a cell phone for 2.5 years probably, because I just didn't feel like I needed it in my life at the time. So, but now I'm probably going to get a phone, and I won't know how to use it for a month or two. So,
but then look for him on Snapchat, and he'll get
with the selfies and the bunny ears and the rap. So, right now, if somebody wanted to get a hold of you or your organization, how could they do it?
Evangelist Music with a Z. That's the only difference. If you Google that, everything's going to pop up that I have stuff that I don't even know that I have, but we have a YouTube channel, twiddle diddle, that's what I call it, tweeting, I got a tweet, but I don't really know how to use it. Facebook is usually the main way that I communicate with people. evangelistmusic@gmail.com. You can email me. No Hotmail.
No Hotmail.
That's old school, I think.
TC still uses Hotmail, that's right.
I have one of those too, but it's
at AOL.com.
719-980-3524.
And we'll put that number right up here.
Yeah,
right.
Call me there. Contact any one of these guys. Tell them you want to get a hold of me. And the main thing is when we're expanding, I want to make sure that people aren't lukewarm. Like Joe's saying, that's called lukewarm. That's where you're better off being cold, or on fire for the Lord. You're teetering the fence. You're lukewarm. That's not a good place to be. You're going to get hurt. So we want people out there being about it. Don't sing about it. Don't talk about it. Get out there and be about it. And that's how you be a good example for Jesus Christ. And
So let's say, where would you like to see evangelist music 5 years from now?
as far as God wants to take it, I'm willing to go the whole distance with Him. I'm willing to put everything on the line as long as that's what He wants for it.
And you have a good, solid support system with your family and your friends and the whole organization. So it's all positive.
Yes, and it's been amazing. God has blessed me with so many beautiful people in my life, and it's just amazing. And when I rapped for the world and everything, okay, there's money, there's this, there's all that, but it's empty. Like this right here, I'd rather not even get paid and know that I affected one person's life or gave them a tool for the rest of their life. Man, that's fulfilling.
Yeah, that's a good one. One question that I want to ask you before we wrap up here. I asked this question to Kenny Ray too when he was on. What do you feel when you were growing up? What did the word Chicano mean to you?
The word Chicano, to me, Chicano was maybe somebody that was born in America, maybe a little bit after the Pachuco days. Born here, kind of when they were still discriminated against. You don't hear about a lot of discrimination by the brown. They don't complain about it as much as some, others do. Right. But there was a lot of discrimination too, and they needed to pull together, and they had to. I think maybe the lowrider culture and everything came out of that, and not only that, the Stacey Adams and the suspenders and the cholo hats and everything else.
Well, you lived it.
Yeah, pride.
Now, let me ask you this question. With the word itself, with where we all come from and what we want to do you feel Chicano gives a bad reference?
I think it would depend on who's listening to it, but I think, in my opinion, no.
Right,
in
your opinion.
In my opinion, no. And it could be subjective. Somebody else may say, well...
No, it doesn't matter what they say. I want to know what Bradley thinks.
To me, it means somebody who's proud of who they are and made it through the turmoil, and somebody that just keeps on moving forward. And it's not about complaining or poor me. It's somebody standing up with pride and saying, hey, I made it through that, and I'm here.
And they don't say, why me? They
Adelante.
say, try me.
James Brown. All right. Me, I had a song like that.
All right, you know what?
We're going to play a quick game. No, we're not. We're going to play one quick game. I want to have you scoot a little closer to TC for this game. All right. This game is a fast game, and it's called Who Said It? All right, so this is good for you. You have 3 choices. Jesus Christ, Moses, or Tupac. All right. First one. Have you forgotten God? Even if you have, He has not forgotten you.
Moses.
Bradley is on fire. TC was cold on that one. All right.
I don't know any of that.
I am the way, the truth, and the light.
Jesus Christ.
You were late on that one, Bradley. got that one. Only God can judge me.
Tupac.
All right, here's this one right here. So when I am asked who I give my unconditional love to, look for no other name except God.
Jesus.
Moses.
Tupac.
Tupac.
Last one for the win. TC, you can still win. This is for 200 points. Always know that I am with you. Always. Yes, to the end of time.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, TC got it. So TC wins. We said it first.
I don't want to get kicked off the show.
But we'd like to thank you for coming out
No,
today.
thank you guys, man. It was a
gracias,
blast.
man.
Thank you,
Gracias.
Daniel.
I'm way over here.
And what's the camera guy's name? AKA
Jimmy.
Eye Candy?
Eye Candy.
Thank you, Jimmy.
I want to thank everybody for watching. Again, we'll always give a shout out to the crew. Joe Ayala, Jimmy Cordova behind the camera, and always on the sound engineer, award-winning Mr. Danny Dranks. Low life, say I got it right this time. And also want to thank Bradley Pettie for coming on.
And thank you for doing what you're doing.
Yes, thank you. Always positive, always forward. Siempre adelante. Stay tuned for updates.